And with that, hello, hello, hello. Yeah, welcome, welcome. Right, before we get into anything else, let me get some shout-outs going. Hang on, where's my... Man, I reorganized my desktop and I can't find stuff. Hang on. So, Streamlabs, where are you? There we go. That's one. So Mark, hello to you. Yes, I was so tired yesterday. God, and you still are. Yeah, man. That flying through the night, man, flying through the night is just, it's just killing me right now. Blimey. Right, let me try to set up everything here. So where's my chat bot? There it is. There. Right, so first of all, Goat Friend, here comes the jingle.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Duo Channel experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight infotainment will be served. Thank you.
Exclamation mark hello.
Exclamation mark hello. Goatfriend, thank you so much for the 10 months it says here, but I'm sure it's been longer than that, right? Goatfriend, thank you so much for your support. Much appreciated. And then we've got Verda Momo coming in with a tier 3.
Welcome aboard the
6
Captain
months.
Black Box Duo Channel experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight infotainment will be served. Thank you.
Verda Momo, that's really, really generous. Thank you for the 6 months tier 3. Huge round of applause for that. Thank you so much. And so hello to Pot Nanook. Hello to you as well. Hello to Lilo. Hello to you as well. Then we've got Peter. Luke, hello. Luna, hello to you as well. Welcome. Eagle Motion, hello. And Andreas on YouTube, hello. Andrew, hello. Pilotopy and Sarf. Yeah, we're flying with VATSIM today, exactly. So we are in Munich and we are flying to Bilbao. There's a new scenery from beautiful model of the world. Now we know that Bilbao is a fantastic, interesting airport for many reasons. Let me just have a look, because I did have there's a file, there's a workshop file on our Discord subscriber channel about Bilbao Airport. Let me just find it. I'm sure I have it downloaded. There it is. So there's a huge, huge. I mean, I made an airport file with all of the interesting details that you should know about prior to flying there. Yeah, if you're a subscriber or a member on YouTube, go and download this if you like, and yeah, you get some fantastic details. What to look out for, not fall into any traps. Carbon Bell, hello, greetings to Halifax and Lilienthal. Hello to you. Lilienthal, we were wondering the last time how many months. So you've got 85 months now, right? And you're the longest subscriber. So we were wondering how long I've been partnered. So 85, that's... hang on. Yeah, that's 7 years at least. So you've been subscribed like 7.5, no, seven, just over 7 years, right? Yeah, 7 years something, exactly. Amazing. There he is, release subs. Oh my god, 85 months.
Could new subscribers
Good Lord.
please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Lilienthal, thank you so much for the 85 months. non-stop subscriber here on the channel. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Lilienthal. Big round of applause. Big salute. Thank you so much for that. My God. And Senshai coming in next. Just waiting for the jingle. And while we have a look at the scenery here.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
And Senshai, to you as well. Thank you so much for your support. Hello to you. I hope you're doing well, Senshai. Yeah, I'm sorry I've been so absent, but yeah, I've been working, and I'm not sure, Senshai, any news on our our big app now? Anything that I missed? For those that have not quite followed the last time, so if you are interested in the app we have, you can now actually change the size of that window here. So you can actually make that app bigger, zoom in, or make it smaller, zoom out. Yeah, and just vary the size to your liking there. I mean, there are limitations, yes, but you do have the option now, which is absolutely fantastic. And then Purifi, hello, welcome. Yeah, the app is brilliant. Hofbräu, I don't know, I've not been here for ages.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch channel subscriber experience.
Isn't it in here somewhere?
Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Right. Things are just picking up now as we speak. The tower and the apron, I think, is going to come online at 18:30 UTC. And Dr. Fred coming in as well with resub. Thank you, Dr. Fred. Welcome, welcome. 23 months. Thank you so much. And moin to Voyager. Wie geht's dir? Right. Lovely. Cool. So, yeah, I've been flying IRL, and I had another absolute greaser landing. I know, no proof, no belief, but still. And it's not because I'm such a fantastic pilot. It's actually the 787. If you kind of understood the fly-by-wire logic, and the aircraft is actually fairly easy to land and to grease. I don't know. It's just so beautiful how direct the inputs are and how predictable the aircraft behaves. So I had another 25 knot crosswind landing, and
Hello, black box.
And it's just that 30 feet, just pull back on the yoke a little bit, let the nose rise, and then just see how it reacts. But usually it's always the same. And then you just at 10 feet, just press the rudder pedal, straighten the nose. It's so smooth, and it's not jerky or anything. It's just so smooth, as if you can really pinpoint the amount of yaw, absolute to exact values, and it just touch down and grease it. It's incredible. I really love it. Don't jinx it. Yeah, I know, right? Next landing. But anyways, yeah, man, and the flight deck, I still love it. It's just, man, it is a beauty. It's a beauty to work with, really. Hey, and Lee, wie geht's dir? Moin. Oh, nice. Hey, Lilienthal, please, sir, let me know how you got on with it. So Lilienthal, I'm not sure. Did you already fly another flight sim at some time? So I'm thinking either level D. So I'm just wondering if you already had a chance to fly something else, because then I would have a nice tip for you. Yeah. So Giftswag, we are going to talk about the Air Serbia. I mean, that's big news, isn't it? And literally, for me, without going into bashing the crew itself, but I think but they were so lucky not to have that end in an absolute disaster with many, many deaths. Wow. I'm sure that Mentor pilot will make a very lengthy video about it at some point. But right now, from the recordings that are available from ATC, and the proof of what happened, yeah, scary. That is just unbelievable. I don't know. I honestly don't understand how that can happen. Right, let me see if I get my Copilot working today. Let me just get rid of that, and then let's have a look. So the thing is that I need to see if the audio is working, because again, there was an update. Oh, talking about updates. So there's a video driver update, and there was a update. No, there was not update with Microsoft, was it? No, there wasn't. But there was an NVIDIA driver update I did, and yeah, I need to make sure that I get rid of the Microsoft updates here. Right, okay, updates are paused, that's good. So, next, my settings. So Lee, doing great, you had a great time in Munich. Nice. Hang on, what's MSC? What's that? Sorry for being ignorant, but what's MAC 2024? Security conference. Ah, okay. Security conference, okay. And so you took photographs of special aircraft that came in? Ah. That's why, so many military aircraft in... nice. Nice, nice, nice. Cool. So let me just have a look again here at the filter. I need to reset everything here. So brightness. Brightness, we want exposure minus 18, so a little bit darker. And it's 14, maybe 15 minus 18 highlights. And because last time people were complaining that it was a bit too reddish, the color, right? So intensity 35, 15 filter, and the color. Now I'm not using these standard values, I have to admit, because it seems like something's changed. So if I use that like that, so sharp looks nice. And then, yeah, that's all right, isn't it? It's not pinkish or anything. Yeah, that looks all right. Good. Also, let me make sure that the sounds are working here.
I'm out for the walk around.
Oh, you heard that, right? Yeah, you did. Yeah. Cool. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Fantastic. So Lilienthal, oh, you mean as a passenger? Ah, okay, so I thought you went, because I'm sure someone told me they are about to go and book a 787 sim mission. So I mistakenly thought you were that person. Ah, okay. As a passenger. So where are you going to, Lilienthal? I know, I'm nosy. So let me just make sure that I have that FENIX, but I need to put this to FENIX, FENIX FS2 crew. There. Yeah. Apply and save. Cool. Oh, nice. So Nanook also flying the 788 and the 773 in March. Oh, you've got a 350 as well. You've got a big lineup there. My God. Yeah, so RT is one of those wet lease things again, right? So the Air Serbia flight was operated by Marathon Air. So I guess it's wet lease again. Yeah. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if at some point governments will be forced to restrict these wet leases to a certain degree. because it's getting ridiculous in some areas. We've seen several incidents now with wet lease aircraft or wet lease companies that does seriously question the safety records of these companies. Peter, flying Qatari A350-900, nice. NS7 in October, nice. Yeah, let me know how it goes. And Lilita is flying Japanese airline to Narita. Really? Well, hang on. Who's got Lufthansa 100 packs less? I would imagine, right? Because normally the Asian carriers, they usually have a lot more seats. Hey, Sim Caesar, how are you? Nice to see you. Sim Caesar, promise, I've got one more rotation in real life, and then beginning of February, so beginning of March, not February, beginning of March, yeah, we'll do another shared flight if you like. Thank you, Mark, for the shout out. Guys, if you don't know Sim Caesar, please check his channel. A wonderful person. Yeah, Sim Caesar, fantastic. Yeah, I mean, wet lease would not be an issue if it is regulated to a certain degree. And let me just see why. And overlooked, just to make sure that you don't get into these areas as we're in now, partially, where you have companies just jeopardizing safety. Where's my MobiFlight connector? I just need to check something here. Why that module doesn't work? Because I do want to use the mini FCU today. And guten Abend. Yeah. Puri. I already said Puri to you. Hello, up to night.
I'm back. No issue on the walk around.
Fantastic. Thank you. So we want to have reset board because I'm going to use it with the FENIX. Angelend, good Abend. Bonsoir. Cool. So we continue with the setup. Let me just go and get everything set up in here. That is okay. Okay, that was good. That's good. Let's get rid of that. And then let's start mini FCU. Now that's working. And I need to start quartz. Quartz for the FENIX. Where is it? Quartz. So it's moving, but I don't have the symbols on my mini FCU. Connection. Task manager. So I just want to make sure that is working. FENIX Quartz. Why is that not working? I mean, the buttons are moving, but I don't have the display on my... Just want to see if I can get that working. Give me one more second, please. So we got rid of that. That's that. So we updated that. What do you mean ads? Hang on, there shouldn't be so many ads. Why is there? There should be like ads at the beginning and just one like every 45 or 60 minutes or something. Not sure why there should be so many ads. If there are, I'll have a look into it. And then try that one more time.
Hi, the security and safety check are all done. Are we good to start boarding?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Refueling truck is on its way. Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck
it's 195. Really? Wow. Okay, well 44 business, that's a lot. I think we have 27 hours at the moment.
boarding requested. Do you want to board crew?
So let me just have a look at the time here. It's 13:13, so we'll go with 13:45. There we go.
Catering vehicles are on their way.
Hey, yeah, so with the BMW, yeah, but that's beautiful model of the world. Kidman, takeoff runway. Kidman, lovely to see you. There should be ATC coming online in about 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm planning for 26 left as well. That's what I have for the flight planning.
Fuel truck is in position.
Is there an update, Golf Charlie?
Truck arrives and asks.
Did I miss something regarding the TBM? Because I'm waiting for the update for X-Plane 12. Exactly, yeah, 26 left. Normally for the southern departures, that will be the runway in use. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Open one right. Oh, is that because of the It is open. Yeah, so Golf Charlie, no. So the thing is, as far as I understand, it's not compatible yet with X-Plane 12. I think Toto is still trying to get it working. Oh, it's a shame. Why is my mini FCU not working today? That's really annoying. That is really annoying. So refueling is going on. That's all running. Oh, lovely. Look at that. Cool animation. People boarding. Fantastic. That is just like in real life as well. I remember that too well, being in Munich. Yeah. And people watch you work. Copilot. Sometimes it gives me extra max weight from 6.4. Well, my estimate sim brief something going. Yeah, no. So you can change certain profiles in sim brief. So I mean, there are A320s that have 66 tons max landing weight. And quite often, it's exactly the same A320 physically. It's just that airlines will sometimes have their aircraft certified for different max landing weight. So, for example, here today it says 66 tons, right? And so the airline can certify this in their country with a lower landing weight, max landing weight, and that actually then saves, fees. So I'm just having a look for the flight time. Flight time today is 1 hour 49. We're expecting, actually we filed 360. And the block fuel is going to be about 8.2 with a bit of reserves, or extra, because the airport definitely, is prone to go-arounds. Although the weather is actually extremely tame today. But it will will offer us a beautiful scenic approach to Bilbao. So Cabo K, 15 degrees. I think we're still going to fly the 30 approach. And then tomorrow morning a bit of broken fog, but tonight it should be beautiful. Madrid, the alternate, Cabo K, 18 degrees, no threats. And that's going to be the routing as we go to Bilbao. Beautiful. Yeah, looking forward to it. We've got Munich approach now online. We should get ATIS any moment now. Yeah, thank you much. Let's have a look if we have ATIS. ATIS still offline. But I'm pretty sure they will come online very soon. Cool. All right, we are called Lufthansa 7-4 Golf or 7-6 Golf. Let me just check.
Welcome aboard the
Hey,
Captain
Mate.
Black Box Twitch
Buonasera.
channel subscriber experience.
How are
Could
you?
new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin,
7-4
where
Golf.
complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Cost the next 5.
Hello my friends. Hello Cap, hope everyone is fine in this nice day. Look how calm I am even after having spent 1,000 euros on a car battery and alternator.
Oh no. Sorry to hear that. Man, these things are expensive, aren't they? Mate, thank you so much for the 35 months. I know it's a bit longer than that, but yeah, thank you so much. And I'm sorry to hear that you had to spend so much on a car repair. Oh my god. Thank you so much. Grazie mille. So we're just going to have a look at the temperature. Minus 62. That's really cold. Here we've got 5 degrees at the moment. And we are expecting about 59.9. And we said block fuel 8.2. 8.2. And the alternate fuel required is 2.7. So 2.7 goes in there. Well, I was surprised to actually see that there is still no update from the FENIX. I would have thought after the hype last week, it was actually close to release. But man, I've been wrong. Then again, I'm also happy because I would not have been able to stream it. Or I would have been streaming it today, obviously, but... so, cruise descend... Hang on, where's my... Yeah, there we go. Cruise winds are in. Fantastic. Hey, Baron. How are you? So, Munich, departure. And now we got ATIS coming online as well. 2-6 left. And I am expecting the departure Allgäu to Sierra. And let's insert that. Cool. Right, forget the estimate of fuel on board. That's never correct at the moment. So hopefully with the update, this will actually improve. Right, and for the arrival, we are expecting ILS Zulu 30, and then it's going to be Chegam to Quebec with the approach via Sarah, I think, if I remember correctly. Let me just check, it's been a while. Let me just go here. Arrival. So it.
Hi guys, here's the load sheet for you.
Thank you.
No problem. Have a safe flight.
Have a nice day. So that's the Chegam arrival, and we are going to go via Karma in this case. Then, all right. Let's go via Karma. I hope it's good karma. Hello? Insert. There we go. Yeah, Puri. So I'm going to be working again. I've got to go back to Frankfurt tomorrow. I'll be working again. Oh, hang on, that's no disregard. Where's my Munich ATIS? That's Augsburg. I don't have ATIS just yet. Yeah, so I've got to go work, and I'll be back on Sunday. So I'm planning to stream Sunday, and of course, if version 2 is out, we'll give it a very good test, including all of the pitch and power values and so on. So definitely looking forward to that. Let me have a look. Okay, ATIS should be back. Okay, cool. Yeah, we got tower online now. We got ground online. I'm pretty sure we will get an ATIS in a second. So here we got the departure route to Sierra. So initial climb level 70. 70. No, I'm not going to Austin, no. Peter, no. The thing is, we don't actually have that many flights to Austin at the moment, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if it's on a daily basis even. Right, guys, I need to try. I'm so annoyed about the fact that I can't get the mini cockpit FCU working, because I'm pretty sure that. So let me go and try to reset that again. Oh, hold on. Isn't that? Oh, okay. I think I know why it doesn't work. Yeah, I have to use the Mobi flight connector, don't I? This is not the this isn't the fly-by-wire mod. That's why. Yeah. Okay. So now let me just do that. Then file open, and then let's go and load the FENIX. So desktop. There it is. Open. Run. Ha! Come on. Let's see. So that is working. Display. And I still have to run the FENIX Quartz, don't I? Still not working correctly. Why is that? Blimey. Is it wrong for someone to use the bottom rudder trim and taking off? Yeah, yeah. So you mean in the A320? Yeah, you don't touch that. Yeah, you don't touch that in the A320. Good. Boarding completed. So now that everyone is online, let's get the clearance as well. So, let me have a look. FENIX, Mini FCU. You need to close. Yeah, let me just check if that is closed or not. Yeah, the mini FCU is closed as well. That's correct. And the quartz, FENIX quartz is running as well. Oh well, I just can't go working today. I mean, that's not a problem. Not a big deal. Alrighty. Hey, Yoda. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it all has to do with the friction models and so on. I mean, a lot of aircraft are affected by these crosswind conditions here in the Microsoft Flight Sim. That is just... I know it's a bit annoying, but that is just the way it is, unfortunately. So let's do request. No, hang on. Where's my... It is ATSU, isn't it? AOC menu. Then we want to go to ATC request. Let's go pre-departure clearance.
Hey guys, all packs are on board. Are we cleared to close?
Yes.
Thanks. Let me know if you need anything.
Will do. So what's the current ATIS? ATIS Munich. It's online. We have information whiskey. So let's put whiskey in here. Echo Delta Delta Mike. And gate number is 248. And let's send that off. And let's hope we get the clearance. So Andreas, Surf, you just tried TPTC first time. It worked out so cool. Yeah, it is, right? The trip wind. Well, I mean, what I did is I uploaded the wind data, right? So if you want to put the wind data, trip wind, it's either headwind or tailwind, and then you just put the average value. So for example, you look at your flight plan, and then and then just have a look at the average wind component. Here on the Lufthansa format, you will find that
Welcome aboard the Captain Black
top
Box
here.
Duo Channel
Although
experience.
today, look at the wind component.
Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks, and premium flight infotainment
So it's all
will be
crosswind.
served. Thank you.
Thank you so much to PP Live, or PPL, PP Live. Thank you so much for your subscription. 3 months. How are you doing? Thank you so much for your support. Oh, there we go. We got a received, and there we go. We got a PDC. So we cleared 26 left. Allgäu 2 Sierra, squawk 2305. 2305. And next page 12171. 12171. And CTOT, SMF log or CTOT, we'll do that. Wilco, send. And then hopefully we'll get a confirmation there. Yeah, so today the average wind component is pretty much 0. I mean, I would still, uplink the wind if possible, but obviously not quite as important. So, flight plan. Let me just close that window again. Good, so request received, clearance confirmed. So that loop is now closed. Fantastic. And as expected, so RatNav, I'm just going to put Delta Mike Sierra and Oscar Tango Tango in here. And for our departure, let's just check. Where are we? We are here. So, yeah, climb 70, 261 bearing to Mike Sierra Echo Beacon. We'll enter that as well. An 18.3 Delta Mike Sierra, turn left 235 track, and then go 251 to Allgäu. So we'll enter Munich South, so 358 and 341. So Mike Sierra Echo in here, and Allgäu in there. So let's select the beacon there, although then I want to have the VOR, or actually DME, on the right-hand side. And there we go. So that's that set up. Diff rips, so data performance now. Performance. Right, so here's a topic, right? Performance. We know that the Air Serbia did a big, I mean, the wet lease company there, they made a huge mistake. Now, one thing that absolutely struck me, and I made some screenshots on my iPad. So there is a recording, A to Z recording. Maybe someone has a link to that here because it's going to be on YouTube, right? And so the tower actually told them to line up Delta 6 and not Delta 5. Now I'm gonna go through all the charts during the flight, but they lined up at Delta 5, and that obviously only left them with a 1,200 and something meters, I think 1,270 meters remaining runway. And the tower then told them, hey, SpaceX, thanks so much for the raid. I hope you had a great stream. So the tower told them their mistake and told them, hey, are you aware that you have lined up on the runway at Delta 5? And then, and then the weirdest thing, we'll go through that again later. The weirdest thing then was that the pilot asked the tower if that was going to be enough for them to take off. And so the tower said, quite rightly, well, you know, it's your aircraft, right? You should know. Don't ask me, right? And you would expect them to do their takeoff performance calculations. Now, this is something, at least in my little world of aviation, where if you fly jets especially, you know, with the responsibility for so many lives on board, you take the topic takeoff calculation extremely seriously. Why? Because if you don't do this properly, it can get you killed very, very quickly. So the thing is that they had to calculate not only for the two-engine case regarding, you know, takeoff, RTO, so rejected takeoff, and then single-engine climber performance. So they have to fulfill a single-engine climb gradient, and then they have to fulfill a path, a net path over all the obstacles in the departure sector by a certain amount, you know, 2.4%, or I think it's 1.8% for 4-engine and so on. There's different values, but you have to calculate this, right? And yes, you do have intersection information available, but of course, if it's a intersection which doesn't make any sense at all, and I'm pretty sure when they had looked at their calculator, it would have never ever given them any values for that Delta 5 intersection. Let me just show you that here on the chart. Now, I don't want to spend too much time at the moment because we have lots of time in the air. But here's the airport chart for Belgrade. So this is where they normally depart. So runway 30 left, Delta 6. That is the normal departure. Yeah, so Jonathan, a bit late, isn't it? I mean, they almost had how many people were on board, but they almost killed everyone. So they lined up here, and I posted a picture on my Discord what it potentially looked like, because there's a displaced threshold coming the opposite end, and so 900 meters. So from this point onwards, they had 1,200 meters remaining runway. So from here to there, physically, 1,200 something meters, right? 900 meters from the end of the runway, you start getting red and white alternating centerline lights telling you from this point onwards you have 900 meters, and around about 300 meters, so 1,000 feet from the end of the threshold, there's continuous red lights. So even if you're down low and they had good visibility that night, I mean, they should have been able to see the alternating red and white lights already, right? And so that's one thing. So the visuals is one thing, but you know, from these intersections, you have to calculate your performance. You are legally required to do so. There's a legal requirement to calculate takeoff performance and a legal requirement for landing performance. Everyone has to do it. So professional sectors, airline sectors, I'm pretty sure the private jet sector as well, they have to do that calculation. So it's absolutely crazy to think that they were told about their mistake, and the tower actually offered them a backtrack. The tower told them, hey, are you aware that you've actually lined up completely wrong? And the tower offered them a backtrack, right? He even offered them a backtrack to Delta 6, right? He said, hey, no harm done, right? Don't worry about it. Shit can happen, right? You know, you lined up wrong, but hey, that's not even worth maybe a big report or anything like that. It will be recorded in the documents for sure, but I don't think the pilots would get, they maybe get questioned, so that the pilots may have to file a report and then yeah, you know, explain why they made that mistake. But you know, they would have had enough time to go off the taxiway or backtrack and go to Delta 6. And I'm sure they did calculate Delta 6 as an intersection departure, right? But then no, they didn't. They didn't accept it, and they were so lost, it seemed. And then, you know, there's two pilots in the cockpit. There's a captain, there's a co-pilot, and why the co-pilots also accepted this, I just don't know. So for us today, for example, it does make sense. So I've somebody posted on my Discord, you know, they're not a big fan of intersection departures because while it does save time and fuel, you know, it can compromise safety. And he's got a point, yes. However, it's all about how careful you are about these topics. So when I'm doing intersection departures, and we're doing that quite often, even on the 787, we sometimes have to do and calculate intersection departure because it says so on, you know, the AOIs, Airport Operation Information. Otherwise, you would have to maybe expect long delays and so on. So in our case, for example, today, Bravo 12, 26 left would be a good intersection. And here's the thing. Whenever you do and accept a intersection departure, you take extreme care that you identify visually the signs when you line up, right? Because that's your last point. When you line up full length, you can have a look at the you know, the runway letters there, so you're pretty sure that you are lined up on the right runway and at the beginning, right? If you're in an intersection, you don't have those numbers anymore. So your last chance to understand, you know, where you are and where you're going to line up is these signs at the holding point. And so that's something you have to be really careful. And if it's dark, well, these signs are lit, so you know they're lightened. So you should still be looking at them and visually confirming. So when I line up, I will read out aloud what sign I'm seeing. So I'm saying, okay, intersection, here's Bravo 12. And then I recheck again with my performance calculator just to make sure that we did calculate the right values. So today we are going to choose Bravo 12. And here's another thing. Usually, you will see that data. So Bravo 12 has a remaining runway of 2,820 meters. That is also usually written on that sign next to the identifier of that taxiway, what remaining distance you have. So you can even do that and recheck that. So it says we still have a preliminary load sheet. Where's my final load sheet? And Christian, good evening. How are you doing? So let me have a look. Mass and balance. Load. Let's do that instant. Load aircraft instant. And there we go. So now we have a takeoff weight of 68.1, or about 68 tons. Let me just calculate that with 68 tons. Hey, Tors, my hero. How are you? And Nige, hello to you as well. So let's sync the final load sheet. So yes, 67.8 would be, you know, with taxi out fuel. Let me just put that to 68 tons. Just in case we have a little bit less taxi time. Just make sure that we have that covered. And so let's calculate those values now. 1027. And hey, Captain Mitchell, how are you? Yeah, Andreas, right? It's just, you know, 1,270 meters for jet, an airliner, is just not much. Who takes the heat? Well, I mean, the captain is ultimately responsible for the flight. However, you know, the first officer also has to then answer questions why he or she didn't pick up the error. That's just the way it is. Cool. So 1028 is the QNH at the moment. 1028. Let's set that. It should have synced up correctly. And then the values. So we've got a flap 1 with up 0. And the takeoff shift, so it's 1,200 meters. And so we also put that in there as a reminder that we're doing intersection 474749. 147149.
Welcome aboard the
And
Captain
it's
Black
63
Box Twitch
degrees.
channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Good evening BB, hope you're doing well. Are you looking forward to FENIX Block 2?
Oh, I am. Hey, Captain Chaos, thank you so much for 53 months. And you bet I am. We talked about on the last stream what it's all gonna, improve, and especially with the engine values, pitch values. So, flap pitch values, power values, corrected. I'm
Welcome
very
aboard
much
the
looking forward to
Captain
that.
Black Box Twitch channel
SpaceX,
subscriber
let me just
experience. Could new subscribers please make your way to
get
the
to your
first
question in a
class
minute.
cabin, where complimentary drinks,
Yes,
snacks, and premium
see you in
flight
Bilbao. I'll be
entertainment will
ready in a few
served.
seconds as well.
Thank you.
And Florian, hello to you. 15 months as well. Florian, thank you so much for your support. And hey, Black Box, I've been learning the FENIX in the last few days. This is my first airline learning. Have been having issues with my autothrust last flight though, okay? Also getting flight plans down. What issues with the autothrust? One of the biggest issues is syncing up these
Welcome aboard the Captain
these thrust
Black Box
levers.
Twitch
So make sure
channel
that you have
subscriber
those correctly
experience. Could new subscribers please make your way
set
to the
here in
first
the
class
options
cabin,
menu.
where complimentary drinks,
Yeah,
snacks, and
so
premium
you've
flight
got to make
entertainment will be
sure.
served. Thank you.
Tom, thank you as well to you, Tom, 38 months. Hello to you. Thank you so much, Tom. Yeah, you got to make sure that you get these into the climb notch. Yeah. Make sure that both thrust levers are getting the climb notch, and then you should have speed showing there. I'll go through that once we're airborne, all right? And I'll show you the culprits. And Glenn, hello to you. No, so if it depends. So usually we would wait until the start valve is closed, and then we'll do overlapping start on the other engine. There are airlines which tell their pilots to wait until the avail light is showing before starting the other engine, so they're not distracted by the other engine start. I mean, that's all due to different company procedures. My call sign is Lufthansa 74 Golf, Fury 74 Golf. Good, that, and then there's one more thing to do. Let me have a look at Munich here. So we've got NEDP 2, and so let me just enter those values there. So we've got NEDP 2 and engine acceleration is 3,000. So engine acceleration goes in there.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch channel subscriber
2490
experience. Could new subscribers
in there.
please make your way to the first class cabin?
Transition 5,000 is
complimentary
correct.
drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
And the engine out procedure. Thank you so much. Evamo coming in 13 months. Thank you everyone for your support. That's really, really appreciated. Thank you everyone. Evamo, I hope you're doing well. Thank you. Right, radial is 260, and we're doing a 260 to 25 miles. And then secondary flight plan, copy active, return plan, and we'll come back to 26 left in this case as well. Both runways are long, 4,000 meters, so it doesn't really matter which side we take. We'll take 26 left because we are going to be in the south, so no star and no via. And that completes our setup. Yeah, Vamo, thank you. Yeah, I'm doing very well. Just a bit tired. Long range is getting to me, it really is. So, man, that's the moment I'm feeling old. Good. Then we're going to go ahead and just quickly set up everything for FS2 crew. So it's a shame that it doesn't or can't read out the values from the FENIX itself. So I've got to set that manually quickly. Cruise level 360, transition 5,000, thrust reduction. That was 240. 90. Actually, that's 1,000, isn't it? 1,000 HEL. Right, that looks pretty good. And if it's 0, then it should be about 29. Cool. Are you ready for the departure brief?
Go ahead.
So, A320, no technical issues at the moment, and we're departing 26 left via the Algo 2 Sierra, climb initially 70, sector in the south is at highest. Actually, it's going to be all around, isn't it? Let me just have a look again here. Algo 2 Sierra. So the sector is going to be 3,700 all around. And we have about a ton extra fuel. And the alternate is going to be Madrid. Engine out, straight out 25 miles. Acceleration 3,000 feet. Cleanup, climb 5,000 radar vectors for the approach. Any cool destination? At the moment, it's pretty straightforward. So, been to Detroit. And so at the moment, I'm pretty much doing Toronto, Detroit, been to Dallas, been to Mumbai. But yeah, it's not so... It will get a lot more interesting next year. But yeah, this year is going to be somewhat a little bit boring. Typical turnaround time for the aircraft, 45 minutes, I would say, is what you would normally expect here. Now, normally, we would get the... let's try that. Any questions?
No questions.
Cockpit preparation checklist.
Gear pins and covers.
Removed.
Fuel quantity.
$8,180 kilograms.
Seatbelts.
On.
ADIRS.
NAF.
Barrow ref.
1028 set.
1028 set. Cockpit preparation checklist completed.
Cool. Did we have to call in? Let me just check something here. It doesn't work that way, so let me just have a look. So, cleared. Startup. Okay, we have to go call startup here. Fantastic. Hey, Kipman. Hey, there we go. Good timing. Any for the bucket list, David? Well, definitely. Thank everyone for the hype train that we've achieved. Thank you so much, everyone.
On center 2, windmill 43 X-ray.
Heading up in the front of Montreal to go free VATSIM taxi, able Papa 12.
Lufthansa 13 Delta Golf, Roger, taxi entry Sierra 8 via Echo 2.
Entry Sierra 8 via Echo 2, Lufthansa 13 Delta Golf.
München Open, Abend, die Lufthansa 74 Golf, stand 248 Alpha requesting startup and pushback.
Lufthansa 74 Golf, München Open, good evening, push and startup booked, facing south, Echo 2.
Facing south, Echo 2, start approved, and Lufthansa 74 Golf, thank you. So let me just check.
With 17 Alpha, München Open, push and start approved, facing south, Echo 3 orange.
Push and start approved, facing south, Echo 3 orange.
Let's do the before start items here.
Leipziger 377, request taxi. Leipziger 377,
before start checklist.
Sierra 6 via Echo 1 orange line, Charlie 5.
Parking brake.
Set.
Takeoff speeds and thrust.
Via Echo 1 orange and Charlie 5.
147, 147, 149, flexing 63 degrees.
V1-147, VR-147, V2-149, flex temp 63 degrees, windows,
13 Delta Golf, contact
Closed.
tower 12
beacon,
On.
before start checklist completed,
So let's get rid of the ground power. FPS, I've limited it to 60. I'm using
Lufthansa 1 Kilo uniform, Belgian airplane, good evening. Information X-ray is correct. You're cleared to
I'm using DLSS, so without frame generation,
Flight plan route.
but it's still DAA, TAA for the. So here's Echo 2. We've got to face south. And Jonas, hey, I have a question from our real flight today. When landing into Oslo today, they asked us to turn off our phones completely. Okay, so yeah, Jonas, good question. Thanks for posting that. Facing south, Echo 2.
Release parking brakes, please.
Brakes released.
Commencing push.
So,
Due to icing conditions,
there is a restriction if you're doing autoland.
and brakes are set.
So when you do autoland, you're supposed to make an announcement to the passengers to make sure that they have turned off any transmitting devices, i.e. anything with, hand or the mobile phones. Strictly speaking, even things with Bluetooth. But, I mean, that would go a bit too far. Flying Wolf, wie geht's dir? But yeah, so I would imagine they did a autoland, and that's why they asked you to switch it off. Hey, Campbell, right, you're doing Frankfurt, Toronto, nice. GG's. Starting engine 2.
okay,
So Black Box, with all the real world flying you do, what draws you to home-based flight sims? Good question, Chris. So I've been in flight simming for a very long time, and I find it just fascinating how things have developed there. And so it's a certain fascination, and at the moment I don't fly that often, and I'm not joking, guys. My sim flying actually helps with my real world flying. So all of the procedures that I'm doing in the sim, especially now with the 787, it does help me for my real world flying. Starting engine 1.
okay,
It's turbulent departure, really? Okay, thanks for the heads up.
17 Alpha, taxi to entry Sierra 8 via Echo 3 Orange Line, Delta 3 Blue Line, and...
Peter, yeah. You're doing good, Flying Wolf, preparing for a week of standby duty. Oh, I hate standby duty. I mean, some like it because obviously it's exciting. You don't know where you're going. So you get a call and, you could go anywhere in the world.
Lufthansa 4 Charlie Lima, München Apron, hello. Push and start a roof, facing south on this key.
There's an alpaca aircraft there.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. Please disconnect.
So, good engine start. Let's do the flows. Wow, there's a lot of aircraft pushing back. GG's. In case you are wondering why we're on daytime, well, the approach into Bilbao is so scenic that yeah, I just want to do this at daytime. It would be such a shame to fly at nighttime. I'll do something which we don't usually do at our company. I will do the flight control check during taxi. After start checklist.
Left is clear, right is clear.
anti-ice,
Off.
ECAM status,
Checked.
pitch trim,
Set and checked.
rudder trim,
Neutral.
after start checklist completed,
Thank you. So let's have a look at where we have to go. And actually,
Swiss 521, München April, guten Abend. Information X-ray is correct. You're cleared to Zurich. Mercy 5 Sierra departure. Flight planned route. Climb via sit to
That's a
level
fantastic
70,
function here. Look at that.
317.
So we're going to tell them as well that we are able Bravo 12 for departure.
Negative. Squawk is 2317.
Is ATC loud enough? I think so. And Jean, hey, how you doing? Lufthansa 74 Golf, request taxi, able Bravo 12.
Lufthansa 74 Golf, roger. Taxi to entry Sierra 8 via Echo 2.
Via Echo 2, entry Sierra 8, Lufthansa 74 Golf. That's easy enough, that's just straight ahead.
And the windmill 4 X-ray requesting taxi.
Windmill 43 X-ray,
Clear left side.
By a call you back.
It's your right side.
Lufthansa 14 Tango, follow the company in front. Taxi entry Sierra 8 via Echo 2.
Taxi Sierra 8, taxi entry Sierra 8 via Echo 2. Lufthansa 1 for Tango.
She's making me nervous. Why she's got her hands on the flap lever all the time?
17 Alpha, contact München Tower 120505, guten Flug.
Brake check.
Tower 120505, Dankeschön.
Pressure 0.
Flight control check.
Ebenso.
Ready. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral.
Rudder.
Full right. Full left. Neutral.
Condor 4 Hotel.
She's
Kilo,
ready for
München Apron, hello. Information X-ray is correct. You're cleared to Palma de Mallorca. Turbo 7 Sierra departure. Flight planned route. Climb via sit to flight level 70. Squawk 2313.
Clear to Palma de Mallorca via Turbo 7 Sierra departure flight planned route. Field set up to 7,000 0 correction. Flight level is 70.
Oh, his microphone is really bad.
Squawk 2313, Condor 4 Hotel Kilo.
Condor 4 Hotel Kilo, read back correct.
Hey, Krypton.
X-ray, swing over to Echo 2, thereafter taxi entry Sierra 8 via Echo 2.
Just wait for the jingle.
Echo 2 and then...
Taxi checklist.
Echo 2, taxi to entry Sierra 8, windmill.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Checked. Flap setting.
Config 1 plus F.
Config 1 plus F. Radar and predictive wind shear system.
On and auto.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
ECAM memo.
Takeoff, no blue.
Taxi checklist completed.
Thank you.
Lufthansa 4 Charlie, roger, stand by.
So you got a hold here at...
Lufthansa 74 Golf, contact München Tower 120.505, guten Flug.
120.505, schönen Abend, vielen Dank, die Lufthansa 74 Golf, ciao.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box
Lufthansa
Twitch
14
channel
Tango, same
subscriber
for you.
experience. Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
München Tower service, Lufthansa 74 Golf
we get
at Sierra 8. We are ready at Bravo 12, please.
Lufthansa 74 Golf, München Tower, hello. Taxi holding point runway 26 left, intersection Bravo 12 via Bravo 12.
Oh yeah, Bravo 12, holding point 26 left, Bravo 12, Lufthansa 74 Golf. Good. So the intersection data is correct. And der Drehflügler. Moin. Thank you so much. Thanks for the 17 months. And Krypton as well. Thank you so much for the 25 on YouTube. Incredible. Thank you so much, everyone. Yes, you can. So you can tell the first officer, pull heading, etc. So there's lots of commands.
Taxi to holding point.
You can tell the first officer to switch landing lights on, engine anti-ice on, off, whatever. There's so many commands.
That's the 377, contact radar 127.95552.
127.955 for that 377, Dankeschön, Abend, ciao.
Yes, I'm using NVIDIA Game Filter. So not reshade, anything like that. It's game filter, it's called. No, so you can say call sign first or last. It doesn't matter. The important thing is that you do say... Oh, it's a bit laggy here. That you do say your call sign. Wow, why is it so laggy? Right, now it's better. It's called FS2 Crew, and so it's the first officer version for FS2 Crew. So you have to have the basic version for the commands. You can have button control or voice control, and so you have a animated first officer. Now today the animation is somehow a little broken, unfortunately. I don't know why. Hopefully that resets. Thank you much, Mark. Yeah, the noise abatement procedure is actually flown IRL. Look out for our takeoff. So the noise abatement, there's two versions. So there's the NADP2, which we're doing today. So 1,000 feet height. You have the thrust reduction from takeoff power to climb power. And also you have the speed acceleration. And the NADP1 usually is 1,500, 3,000 above ground. So 1,500 feet above the ground thrust reduction, and you keep the speed until 3,000 feet AGL. Good. So this is what I was talking about. You see, we get an identifier regarding Bravo 1-2 on both sides. You have the runway hold line there, and this is the sign that tells you the remaining distance that you have from this intersection. Now, I'm not 100% sure if you have that also in Belgrade at the Delta 5 intersection, because again, it will be so unusual to actually do a takeoff there. Line up and wait, 26 left, Lufthansa 7 for Golf. Runway entry procedure.
Takeoff runway confirmed. Approach path clear of traffic.
Line up checklist.
Takeoff runway.
Confirmed.
Runway 26 left. Confirmed. TCAS.
TARA.
PAX 1 and 2.
Off.
Lineup checklist completed.
Yeah, I have, Julian, yeah. We'll talk about this more extensively during the flight, because it is a very, very shocking event that happened there, so we'll talk about it. So, confirm 26 left, Bravo 12, level 70. Apart from that, no other changes.
Swiss 17 Alpha, contact radar 127, decimal 955. Tschüss.
Contact radar 127, decimal 955. Decimal 7 Alpha, danke, tschüss.
Lufthansa 14 Tango, line up runway 26 left.
Line up runway 26 left, Lufthansa 1 for Tango.
Lufthansa 7 for Golf, wind 240 degrees, 8 knots, runway 26 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 26 left, clear for takeoff, Lufthansa 7 for Golf.
Air Force 2,
ready?
Correctly,
Ready?
Air Force 222, wind 240 degrees, 8 knots, runway 26
Takeoff.
right, cleared for net.
Check.
Manflex 63. SRS, runway, auto thrust blue.
Checked. Thrust set. .100 knots.
Checked.
V1, rotate. Positive climb.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Air Force 222, say again. for 222, roger.
Packs are on.
Thrust climb, climb out blue.
The 74 Golf, contact radar 127, das ist eine 955, please.
27 955, wie lang? Tschüss, die Lufthansa 7 for Golf. München departure on Abend, die Lufthansa 7 for Golf, passing 3,800, climbing 70.
Lufthansa 7 for Golf, radar auto identified, climb set to flight level 190.
Via the SIT, climb level 190, Lufthansa 7 for Golf. Flap 0.
Speed checked. Flap 0.
Alpha stop climb flight level 140.
Autopilot 1 on.
17 Alpha, climb to flight level 140.
Climb flight level 140, 617 Alpha.
Okay. Disregard. Swiss 17 Alpha, I'm sorry. Climb to flight level 140.
He's getting confused here.
Climb to
Right.
flight level 140, 617 Alpha, no worries.
Standard cross check. Passing flight level 054.
Checked.
Contact München on 134, decimal 150, 617
Now.
Alpha, danke dir und schönen Abend, tschüss.
Yeah, it is. So the command.
74 Golf, climb to flight level 190, contact München 134, decimal 150.
Yeah, climbing 190 and 134, 150. Tschüss, die Lufthansa 7 for Golf. Yeah, so she finally let go of the flap lever. That got me worried.
125, decimal 2.
125, decimal 2, for Leipziger 377, Dankeschön, ciao.
Servus München, die Lufthansa 7 for Golf, passing 75, climbing 190.
58.
Oh.
Expect ALS 24, Juliet Alpha 458, total tango victor.
München haben die Lufthansa 7 for Golf, passing 80, climbing 190.
Lufthansa 7 for Golf, München radar servos identified.
Alrighty.
Swiss 17 Alpha on this.
München radar 617
So let me just check if they have possibly have
7 Alpha. You're identified. Climb to flight
CPDLC.
level 190.
Climb flight level 190.
So that was 134, 150. So they have CPDLC
190 Mike Lima, proceed direct Rabbit.
above level 315. So
Rabbit,
there's no point in logging on just yet. So now I can tell her, for example, seatbelts off and so on. Let me just check. Landing lights off.
Swiss 17 Alpha, proceed direct Rabbit.
Proceed direct Rabbit.
Clear rat nav.
17 Alpha.
Okay.
The thing is, we can't switch off the seatbelt signs just yet because the pitch is still above 7.5 degrees or above 7 degrees as a limit, so that the trolleys don't tip over. And the reason for that is we're still climbing via the SID, so we've got that 250 speed restriction.
Lufthansa 7 for Golf, turn left heading 250 to enable.
Left heading 250, Lufthansa 7 for Golf. So open climb heading. Whenever you go to a heading, you can't do the managed climb. So it's going to go in open climb automatically. So regarding the speed, so here's the thing, guys. So someone was saying he's got difficulty with the auto thrust. You have to realize that the Airbus auto thrust system works different to, let's say, the Boeing auto flight system. And so the main difference is that these thrust levers...
7 for Golf, climb to flight level 310.
Thank you much. Climb level 310, Lufthansa 7 for Golf. 310. So the thrust levers don't actually move with thrust changes. All right, so you have a certain range when you have manual thrust, and then you have notches at the climb, flex MCT, and the toga notch. So for takeoff, since we had a flex temperature, we used the flex MCT notch. If you do a go around, let's say, or you want full takeoff thrust, you would put the thrust levers all the way forward to the toga notch. Now you just have to realize, if you are in the toga notch or the flex MCT notch, then the auto thrust doesn't respect the speed function per se. It depends on the modes, obviously, but usually that means that you can go into overspeed, right? So you've got to be careful with what your FMA tells you, what the mode is that the auto thrust is in. So for example, you have the auto thrust mode on the left hand side, then you have the vertical modes and the lateral modes, and then other information regarding, you know, which flight director are operative, which autopilot is operative. And here, for example, you can see the auto thrust is active. So if I disconnect the auto thrust, so by clicking on the red lever buttons there, you'll see that light is off now. We just got the auto thrust message off here as well. And you can see that there's no more thrust indication there, right? So if you are in a climb and it says thrust climb, it means it will set the thrust to the climb limit. So you have a takeoff go around limit, you have a flex MCT, so max continuous thrust limit, and you have a climb limit, depending on the phase of flight. So right now, it's in a reduced climb limitation because the thrust levers are in the climb notch, right? That's the maximum thrust you're going to get at the moment. And the pitch mode currently is an open climb. What does that mean? Well, it will take the indicated speed or the commanded speed. So right now, it's still using the managed speed.
Passing flight level 210, proceed direct to Drazading.
Passing level 210 inbound to Drazading. Lufthansa 7 for Golf, dankeschön. So 210 and then direct to Drazading. So I'm going to pre-select that with the beam points so that we can do our fuel checks. So you can see now that I've selected the beam points, it's going to take all of our points on the original routing
Lufthansa 1 for Tango, proceed direct Umtex.
And then use that as a beam point indications. So right perpendicular to the old routing. Just wondering about this. That looks a bit weird. Let's hope it doesn't do a 360 when we activate it. So again, so right now, the climb mode is such that it's using... Oh. There's a big freeze. Right. Come on. Unfreeze. Unfreeze. Oh, there's a huge freeze right now. Oh my god, why is it... Since when does it do that? Blimey. That's scary. Sheesh, yeah. My god. Right, 210, insert. And let's hope that we don't fly... Oh, lol. Okay, so let's do that direct again here. Insert. What? Huh? Hang on, let's do it this way. It's still the old waypoint in there. That's weird. Right, enough. So direct to Drazading.
And proceed via direct taxi Lufthansa 2 Papa.
No, I'm not using beta. No, I never used the beta versions. No.
7 Bravo flight 360 inbound Bergy.
Okay, so again, the pitch mode is such that, let's go back to managed climb. So the climb power is using thrust climb, 88.1%, and it's varying the pitch attitude automatically so that it maintains the climb speed. So right now we've got the managed climb at 303 knots at the moment. All right. And then later on it'll go to Mach 0.77. Now, if you go into a different mode, for example, if you use vertical speed, now you see vertical speed, and it goes from thrust mode into speed mode. And that's the important thing. Now it will respect the speed. So if I reduce the rate of climb, right, it will start reducing the thrust. It will vary the thrust now to maintain the speed. It will only do that in certain modes, like altitude mode or vertical speed mode, and only if you have the thrust levers, both of them, in the climb notch. So if I take them out of the climb notch, you see now it says lever climb. So it's telling us, hey, you haven't set the thrust lever correctly, right? The auto thrust is limited, right? And here we got a reminder as well that we have to put the thrust levers into the climb notch. So once we do that, it's going to go back in the modes. Now I'm going to go back into the managed climb mode. So thrust climb, climb. Yeah, so the thing is, the 320 auto thrust system is just very particular. Yeah, SpaceX, I'm glad it helps, yeah. Yeah, Airbus is somewhat different. Seatbelts off.
Hotel Tango Victor, descent to altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1028.
So once we get to Unicom,
Hotel Tango Victor, A firm and via Juliet Alpha 438, cleared ILS.
So when it gets a bit quieter, we'll talk about the Belgrade incident in more detail, especially with the tower communication. And when I saw that today, it was just, I don't know, it's shocking to say the least. It was shocking. Yeah.
Swiss 17 Alpha, contact Swiss 128050. Bye-bye. Contact Swiss on 128.050. November 319 Mike Lima, contact Swiss 128.050.
Oh wow, we even have Swiss control today. So we've got to wait until we get to France. Okay, that's no problem though. Well, there's not. Well, yeah, you can call it an accident. It's very lucky that nobody got hurt, and that was in Belgrade.
Mention apologies. 2385. Get that frequency again. Über 2385 120.930. 120.930. Thanks. Über 22 Whiskey Golf Mission radar identified. Ryanair 3664 monitor Unicom.
That's right. I'm just going to have to do something here, guys. I have a feeling the latest NVIDIA driver is also causing issues. Hang on.
110 until deck C, Lufthansa Power Fox.
I'm just having a look if the temperatures are spiking up for some reason.
521 München radar servos identified. Confirm your requested level.
Right.
521 Roger, climb to flight level 200.
I have a feeling that for some reason the temperatures are spiking with the latest update of that NVIDIA driver. So let me see if that helps now. 128050 next. Fantastic. Thank you much for the update. And we are buff level. No, we're not quite yet. So let me go and try to log on. I'm not sure if it's still worth it.
Direct
umtex, in 433.
So connection.
Lufthansa 74 Golf, monitor Unicom. Bye-bye.
Monitor Unicom, bye-bye. Lufthansa 74 Golf. Lol. Do I have a different routing than everybody else? But anyways, that means it's going to be a bit quieter, so all good. Alrighty. Anyways. just get rid of that message there. That's to... It said it reset all of you. Yeah, the thing is, I don't know, it's sometimes so annoying with these updates. But I did clear out all the cache, so I remember to clear the cache. So that's one thing, which is also important to do. I did do that. But yeah, I don't know what it is. It just seemed a bit off. Anyways, Belgrade. So for those that haven't heard, and I'm not a big fan of trying to overanalyze these occurrences, simply because we don't know all the facts usually, right? So there's a lot of speculation in there, which isn't good. We climb 360 here. So we usually have to wait until we get some official reports out. However, in this very case, I think it's fair to say that even though we don't have the final report, etc., we can already see that some really huge mistakes were made. Now, mistakes happen in aviation. It's something you have to try to mitigate as much as you can, obviously. So there's always procedures, so standard operating procedures, for example. You have your communication, especially in the crew resource management area, where you try to have an atmosphere that allows anyone in the flight deck to speak out openly. And so if there's anything where, someone thinks, well, that's a bad idea, or I have a gut feeling something's not correct or something, that person will speak out. Oh, is it? Yeah, you're right. 22.8, not 8. Thank you. So there's two people usually in the flight deck of an airliner, right? We don't have single pilot concept just yet, thankfully. And so the aircraft was supposed to depart at least Delta 6. So Delta 6 or Delta 7. I think the flight radar recordings showed that the airline affected, they usually would depart at Delta 6. So it's Air Serbia, but it was a wet lease from a different company. So let me just get the Aviation Herald report out. Yes, Marathon and Embraer. So the airline is a wet lease airline, Marathon, and it was an Embraer 195, and they were doing a flight for Air Serbia. So there's already a transcript on Aviation Herald. If you want the link, here it is. And there's a transcript saying within the ATC recording, the tower says Air Serbia 86 Charlie Tower, and the tower says, "Are you familiar that you entered runway by Delta 5 intersection?" So they mistakenly took this intersection. Now, I can only assume that the pilots involved were somewhat unfamiliar with the airport, because, I mean, that's a huge difference regarding intersections, right? If you look at the airport information chart, it will give you a remaining runway from these intersections. So Delta 6 gives you a remaining runway of 2,349 meters, right? And that will be perfectly normal. That's long enough for a small jet, and you would have your calculations done for the Delta 6 intersection. However, Delta 5 only gives you 1,273 meters. That's more than 1,000 meters difference, right? And so, taxing out, your mental picture at least normally, when you do your briefings, you would also mention the taxi routing, right, at the intersection point you were planning to depart from. So, you know, you would look at the complete runway length and then how far you would potentially taxi down. So if you turn on to Alpha here and you already line up after a few seconds, so let's say, you know, half a minute, you should think something's not right. That will be your first kind of indication saying that's weird. I was expecting to taxi out a lot longer. So this is a bit weird. That's one thing. Another thing is, oh, there's Zurich. Just now the airport. Lovely. Oh, beautiful. So that's one indication. The other one is the signs. So just like I showed you at Bravo 12 in Munich, you would have a clear indication.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch channel
Hey, negative.
subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Negative. 18 months. Good God. Nick, I hope you're doing well. How's the training going? Last time you were saying that you're enjoying the, learning to fly jets now. Jeez. Yeah, so they didn't see correctly the signs either, so they lined up. Oh, you had to... No, I can imagine. You had a first sim session yesterday. I can imagine, Nick. I can imagine. My God. Was that an EFA? Oh, well, the F something. Right, anyway, so the tower said, are you familiar? You entered the runway by Delta 5 intersection. So he asks the pilots, and the pilots respond, yes, Tora is Tora is 1273 meters. Yeah, okay, that's fine, Nick. Yeah. So they actually then realized where they were, and they actually noticed that the remaining runway is 1,273 meters. So at this point, they were well aware where they were and what the remaining takeoff runway is, right? Now, then here comes the weird part. He says, or the pilot says, I assume that is not enough. That is such a weird quote. Like, I assume that is not... What do you mean you assume? You're the pilot. You should have done your calculations. So it's like asking the tower, what do you think? Is that going to be enough? And the tower says, okay, calculate and call me. If you need, you can commence backtrack and line up a beam Delta 6. So the tower offers them, calculate, and if you want, feel free to taxi back to Delta 6. Right? It is your decision. Do whatever you need to do, but just make sure you have enough runway. So the crew says, okay, able to depart via Delta 5. So somebody was saying, well, why didn't the tower stop them? Well, no, that's not the... I mean, if the tower would have thought, okay, that is really weird, and I don't think they will be able to take off, he would have not given them the takeoff clearance. But the pilot says, able to depart via Delta 5. So the tower assumes the crew has done their calculations correctly and would be able to depart from there, right? So then they're given the takeoff clearance. And we talked sometimes about the complicated procedure regarding takeoff calculations. Now, when we do, for example, here the takeoff calculations in the FENIX, it's somewhat basic in the sense that you enter your values. So, the weights, the runway in use, runway surface condition, dry, wet, contaminated, and the weather conditions. So you give that program the values for it to calculate the optimum thrust values and the optimum speed values. Now, in the background is something's happening that, of course, not many people know about. But professional pilots, they now know about this because in their ATPL training, they have to learn all about this topic. And let me see if I can quickly pull up a document here. Hold on. So, performance, takeoff performance. So, they've got lots of charts there. Bip, bip, bip. Right, so I have done a huge file about takeoff performance. Now, I'm not going to bore you to death with, with all the theory behind it, but it is definitely a very, very complicated topic, right? So, there's 3 cases that we have to calculate with. So, one of the cases has to do with the takeoff section. So, the takeoff run until you lift off, for example, is calculated, and also the takeoff distances required to accelerate to the V1 engine out decision speed, and then doing an RTO. So there is loads of different calculations just for the runway part, right? So the field length limited takeoff weight. So the weight you can depart with to meet all these conditions for the takeoff case, that's already a very complicated calculation going on in the background. And so a balanced field takeoff, for example, is one where the accelerated stop distance equals the accelerate go distance, right? So the engine failure case liftoff reaching 35 feet height, and the case where you actually stop the aircraft at V1. So that would be balanced. Now, in real life, it's an unbalanced takeoff. So usually the runway is longer physically than you actually need in these cases. And let me just call ATC here real quickly. So we're calling Geneva 134850. Geneva, bonsoir, or good evening, Lufthansa 74 Golf, level 360.
Lufthansa 74 Golf, Swiss Radar, bonsoir, T5, I need you out. Do you prefer 35 or 37,
In this case, we prefer 350, Lufthansa 74 Golf.
Lufthansa 74 Golf, descent flight level 350.
Descent level 350, Lufthansa 74 Golf. So, 350, vertical speed out blue. And we'll enter 350 now into the cruise page. All right. Yeah, exactly. So, Julien, if the aircraft was very light, theoretically, that distance could have been enough, right? So, you can have cases where the accelerate stop distance is actually shorter than the accelerate go distance, right? Now, again, don't worry too much about this. It's just one of the cases that you calculate, all right? For the maximum takeoff weight. Now, the second thing you have to calculate is a minimum climb segment in the second segment. So that's a segment where the gear is up until you reach the acceleration altitude. So usually it would be 1500 feet AGL. It can be different. It can be 800 feet AGL. It can be 1000 feet AGL. For us, it's usually 1500 feet AGL. So for 2-engine aircraft, if you have an engine failure, you would have to meet a 2.4% climb gradient. So that's another case, right? That's a second case. The third case is you have to check the path on departure for the engine out departure and check all the obstacles and then check your net flight path. And you have to make sure that the
Lufthansa 74 Golf, direct into.
Direct into. Thank you, Lufthansa 74 Golf. So we go direct into, beam points, insert.
Kilo 332 fastest, red low, identify, correction, squawk 1000, please.
So again, obstacle limitation, so the gross flight path has to be 0.8% above the net flight path. And so the net flight path has to clear all the obstacles by 35 feet dry runway, and it will be 15 feet wet runway. Hey Bacon, how you doing? Again, that's a third, that's the obstacle limitation case, right? So 3 cases are being calculated. Now, the most limiting one, so either the field length limit, the standard climb gradient limit, or the obstacle limitation, will give you a maximum performance takeoff weight. And whatever the most limiting, that's the one that you're going to have to take, right? So obviously you want to make the takeoff as efficient as possible, meaning the calculator will take into account, you know, runway length, obstacle limitations in the departure sector or engine out sector, the climb gradient you have to meet, etc., etc. So it does all the calculations in the background, and it will then give you a flex temperature. So a reduced takeoff power, which still fulfills all of these restrictions. All right. Here in the FENIX, it gives you a takeoff performance limit, meaning, you know, with full power, you could theoretically take out 84.5 tons, which is, I don't know, I can't imagine that being absolutely correct, but anyways, you know, that's something I don't take seriously. But in our real calculators, we actually get told what the limit is of each of these different cases, and so we know where the limits are. Now the thing is this: so if you have an engine failure exactly at V1, so just when you have to go and you can't abort takeoff anymore, you can increase the thrusts on the remaining engine. You can, which will give you a better climb performance, obviously, but you don't have to. Or let's say the pilot forgets or opts not to do so, then that flex temperature will still make sure that with the calculation you've done, you will clear all the obstacles, right? Now, if you depart from an intersection, oh, hello, hold on. Let me just sign in again. I don't know why Navigraph kicked me out. Thank you
Hello,
very much for
Black
that.
Box.
Hey, Reynolds. I'm doing well, Reynolds. Bit tired, but how are you doing? Is Navigraph down right now? I have a feeling that Navigraph is inoperative. Hang on. Sign in. Well, at least it's very slow. Ah, okay, so it is Navigraph having issues. Okay. Alright, anyways. Is there a way to see landing departure? Yeah, normally there would be. I think in the FS Labs there was. Let me just have a look. So normally in the real aircraft, yes, you can see those values. In the FS Labs, you had that on the second page here. Here, I don't think so. No, it seems like here it doesn't log it for some reason. How do you clear random failures in the FENIX? Config. Random failures. Here. Just put, it should be none. If it's on none, Oh, you gotta be kidding me. What? Lol. Okay. Right, anyways. It's a non... But you have... Oh, sorry. Oh, my bad. Yeah, sorry. There we go. So sorry. Atsu. So I don't see any pages here in the MCDU where you can see departure times and so on. Let's have a look if there's something in here.
Legend 3325, contact Milano radar 135.455. Okay.
Oh, hang on. Yes, so Noob here. So on the My Flight page.
Swiss radar, hello again. FedEx 49 Tango Morus 4 Alpha 4300.
It does tell you the actual time departure, but that is the off blocks time, isn't it? I think that's off blocks. Or is that departure?
Climbing level 160, FedEx 49 Tango.
Okay, Tech, Antrop. Okay, so SimBrief, so Navigraph seems to have crashed. Yeah, so have a look here. At least here, I think that's off block time at least. Now, for me, what I do on takeoff, I start the chrono. So I know that I actually took off at 1412. So 12 past is when I took off. Good. So again, we calculate all of those values, right? Now, if you get an intersection takeoff that you did not do the calculations for, i.e. you have a shorter runway remaining, all of the alarm bells that you have should ring. Why? Because
direct code left, FedEx 49 Tango.
Because all of these calculations then are invalid. Especially with the field length limit, for example, right? So what happened for them, let me see if I can get Navigraph back. So what happened for them, they took off nonetheless, and I would assume they did not calculate the performance correctly, because if they had, they would have come to the conclusion that remaining runway is not going to be enough. Oh, come on. Let me just try again. I'm just going to see if I can log in. Approve. Allow. There we go. So we should be linked now. So let me go and give you the charts here. So again, you know, Delta 6 is what they planned with, I would imagine, and this is what they had, Delta 5, 1,200 meters. Now, they took off, nonetheless. And of course, by the time they reached the end of the runway, they didn't have the speed to lift off. So they went off the runway, hit the localizer antenna, which did the damage to the aircraft. They continued on the ground, and they departed, they lifted off about 500 meters beyond the runway, which is about, I would imagine, pretty much at the end of the approach light system, somewhere there. And it's a miracle they actually lifted off, because the ground here is obviously soft, so they couldn't accelerate the way they would be able to accelerate on the runway, right? And so they were lucky they actually lifted off and the aircraft remained flyable. Now, if you listen to the ATC recordings when they were airborne and the pilot was talking on the radio, you could hear the vibrations the aircraft was having. You could hear that in their voice, right? So why didn't they reject the takeoff? I don't know. Because I think they knew that they wouldn't have enough runway remaining, and they kind of remained optimistic that they would be able to lift off. Right. Now, again, the last instant, so the last threat mitigation after being told, hey, you've lined up on the wrong runway, the last chance was to recalculate your performance calculation. And I would be very, very, very surprised if they actually had a value for that, i.e. that they actually had the intersection in their calculator. So if I go to, let's see what we get here. Probably not much. So Belgrade, runway 30. It even doesn't even give the 3 left, so it's an old database. Yeah, it only gives you full length. 122.8. Thank you much, Lufthansa 7 for Golf. There we go. Right. So before we do this, it's not a big fault, but we'll go through this in a second. So they had missed the chance, the last chance to recalculate and then really get the confirmation that this takeoff is not possible. Yeah, so Automarker, I mean, again, I can only speculate in this at this part, which is not fair, really. I can only imagine they had done a takeoff at some point where 1200 meters was enough. And maybe the captain was saying, like, I tell you what, we'll just do full power takeoff, so not reduced thrust. We'll do toga power, and then the 1200 meters will be enough. Why the first officer didn't speak up and say, Captain, I don't think that's a good idea, or if you want to do that, let me out first, right? You know, there's different ways of letting the captain know that it's a bad idea. No, that the first officer remained silent, didn't speak up, which is shocking as well, right? Yeah, and then they departed. And it's a miracle. It really is a miracle that the aircraft got airborne and didn't crash thereafter. You know, that they didn't have engine failure or some other failures. I mean, they had a fuel leak, right? Because when they were on the apron... Oh yeah, and then another thing. So they would have noticed for sure that they had a fuel leak because of that hole they had in the wing and the way the fuel was leaking out. You know, they must have known that. And then one thing, if you have an abnormal where you are potentially leaking hydraulic fluid, engine oil, or, you know, or fuel, you would not leave the runway. Why? Because you are potentially contaminating, you know, taxiways, apron areas, which will then, you know, make the whole cleanup a lot more complicated and expensive. Apart from the fact that you're risking, you know, a fire as well at some point. So again, to land the aircraft and then taxi the aircraft to an apron or the gate position, it's just unbelievable. It's just something. It's just, yeah, absolutely unbelievable. Jonathan, for us, we always recalculate. So let's say, for example, we had Delta 6 initially, and we would then get Delta or full length. Well, Delta 7, because full length would be backtrack, so Delta 7. We are obliged, we need to recalculate our takeoff performance. Now, we can't say, oh, you know, Delta 6 is fine because Delta 7 because we have this extra. No, we have to recalculate. Again, because that whole calculation process regarding the field length limit, the obstacle limitation, the climb gradient limitations, everything has to be recalculated. So Definitely, we would recalculate, even if you have more runway. Yeah, Yoda, and you know, like we talked about this. So the tower actually offered them. The tower offered them to taxi back to Delta 6, right? Without any issues, without reporting, or you know, it never would have been. it never would have come, you know, up on the news. Oh yeah, baby Boeing. I hope that the recorder is still alive. Because with a recorder, these days, the older recorders, they only record like 2 hours. And for the recording to stop, you would actually have to pull the circuit breaker as well. So hopefully they did, in order not to hide what they were talking about. Yeah, Daniel, that's the thing. Embraer can record a lot of... okay, so hopefully... Yeah, Yoda, hopefully it's going to be available and not deleted. Hey, Jeremiah. Thank you so much, Jeremiah. It's alright. If you hear a cat meowing, it's our cat here. Cat 1. No, I can't let you out now. Good, let's have a look at the failure. So we did put random failures in, and we got straight away, we got the ELAC 1 fault. So it's one of the flight control computers. So the elevator control number 1, and it's telling us to switch it off and then on again. So it's a computer reset, if you like. So we just confirmed that is faulty. Yeah, fault light there as well. And so flight control, ELAC 1 fault, ECAM actions, ELAC 1 off, then on. Off. And usually wait 3 seconds. On again. And lol. That reset worked. GG's. I expected it not to work. I think it's the first reset here I've done in the sim that actually works.
This is a push button aircraft.
Ah, oui, monsieur. But again, I mean, normally that doesn't work. Like never. Okay, well, okay, disregard. So now we would do an entry into the technical logbook, because any flight control reset has to be documented. So I would say during flight, during cruise, ELAC 1 fault, reset successful, and then that's it. So, so stick figure, if the barometric pressure drops from 1011 to 10.9 after calculating tech performance. Yes. So the thing is this, so you would say, well, hang on, what's 2 hectopascals, right? So why would we bother? It can't be that much. Depends. So there are aircraft, some calculations where it can be a difference in the max weight. So let me just try 2.8. And then let's have a look at the weather. All right, so and let's calculate that in Bilbao. So Bilbao, runway disregard, not 28, 30. So runway 30, calculate. So so it's calculating that with 1028. So let's say the pressure drops to 1026, right? And so that's now 82.2 with a flex of 61. Okay, so let's calculate that again. Right. Here it doesn't make much sense. Now I can tell you that in real life, it would potentially not make much difference either, like maybe 100 or 200 kilograms. However, we calculate everything to exact values. So, you know, you could say that our performance takeoff weight with a flex of 61, for example, would be 68.0 tons. And then the pressure drops by 2 hectopascal, and then you have 67.9 tons, right? So then you have a difference, flex temperature, etc., etc. So yes, even if it drops only by 1 hectopascal, we again need to make sure that we recalculate. That's just the way it is. Same with temperature or the wind, for example. Stepke, hey. Yes, I'm doing good. How are you doing? Yeah, so Marco, another good question. Why didn't they land ASAP? Why did they choose to hold for an hour? And again, to burn off fuel. I mean, they had a fuel leak, for crying out loud. Right? I mean, yeah, to fly for an hour. Although, the thing is this, I don't know what messages they had. I don't know if they had a hydraulic leak or something. If they had to run through different checklists. But definitely weird. Definitely weird that they actually flew for another hour. And, again, another factor where, good God, they could have crashed due to that fuel leak or hydraulic leak or whatever. I mean, yeah. Now, here's the thing. So if they actually were overweight, that makes the whole takeoff incident even more scandalous. Like, if they were so heavy that they were above max landing weight, how can they accept 1,200 meters of takeoff runway? It just does not add up. It's just really, really, really strange. Yeah, Captain Chaos. I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting your composure back. So trying to get your pulse back down again, and and look at the situation, and go through your foredeck, like facts, option, risk, benefit, decision, execution, check. Go through your decision making model. Yes, but again, an hour flight time. Do you know how long an hour is? Especially if you got issues. I mean, yeah. Yeah, but definitely we will cover it. So if we get some official reports out at some point, then yeah, we'll definitely come back to this incident and cover it. Well, Voyager, I mean, it's a. Did they fly go around? Really? I don't know. Did they fly go around as well? Yeah, maybe somebody can check. Yeah, I didn't hear about that though. Yeah, that's weird. Right. Let me try to log in here as well. Symlink, please sign in. So there we go. Oh, really? There was 2 approaches. Okay, well, I guess the whole transcript then would be even more interesting. Yeah, baby Boeing. I mean, the facts are, already showing some tremendous pilot error as it is. Now, what led up to this and what led to them accepting, a takeoff run from here, that's a different matter. But, even the tower noticed, and the tower suggested for them to taxi back to Delta 6. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what comes out at the end. Yeah, Daniel, I mean, I understand that, Daniel. You are correct. There are different company SOPs, different company psychological or pressures they put on pilots and so on. I'm aware of that. But we're talking about potentially killing everyone on board and yourself with such a mistake. And so yeah, that is just something hard to comprehend. Yeah, Yeah, but I mean, what rumors were we talking about, baby Boeing? We were talking about facts. A fact that they took off from Delta 5, a fact that they got offered Delta 6, backtrack, a fact that they after the tower asking them if the remaining runway was enough, they actually accepted the takeoff, and then it's a fact that they flew around for an hour with such a damaged aircraft. I mean, that's, you know, that's not rumors. Those are facts. And apart from that, anything else? Yeah. So anything else regarding their communications or what's behind? Well, yeah, we'll see. I mean, we're not discussing that. We'll see what comes out. Oh, which I haven't talked about. Okay, so no, I just wondered if you criticized me for speculating. Yeah. So the thing is, that's something that happens, you know, very quickly. So if you go, I don't even go through the comment section of the Aviation Herald, because usually the comments there are pretty you know, silly. Oh, okay, that's fine, baby Boeing. No worries, no harm done. So yeah, be careful with those comments. So apparent experts, you know, in the comment section, forget about that. Right? It's just, yeah, don't listen to that. Yeah. And then we'll see what comes out. Anyways, so that covered that today. Let's go and look at our flight today. We are now coming up to Monde, and we've got Toulouse. Lyon is behind us. So this should be Toulouse, so Lyon, sorry. And we've got Toulouse ahead of us. Beautiful. Armchair pilots, yeah, exactly. And Jan, good Abend. Cool. So we were talking about earlier about Bilbao. Now, Bilbao Airport, I can tell you that for us, now, even though I can't share the official documents that I have from my airline, we have a huge special airport familiarization program. So we have a web-based training program for Bilbao, where you have lots of different infos, you know, from wind phenomena, weather phenomena, terrain situation, specialities regarding display threshold or approach path being steeper than normal. And Bilbao is, for us, an airport that requires special instruction. It does not mean you have to do the instruction in a simulator, or that you have to fly to the airport with an instructor. Those would normally be Category C airports. This airport is a Category B Bravo airport, where the pilot is required to perform a self-study or a lesson from the company to familiarize themselves with the approach and the specialities of the airport. Now, Bilbao, and I've been to Bilbao many times in real life, and I've had wild approaches there. So these are approaches where, yeah, the aircraft, you know, will be thrown around a lot more than what you normally have. So these up and down drafts are spectacular. And we're talking about up and down drafts that are strong, but yeah, energy management is a good topic, Voyager. So energy management becomes very difficult. So we're talking about thrust requirements from idle power to climb power, just to maintain the speed. So, it's wild sometimes. And there, you know, if you look at YouTube and you Google for some interesting approaches, so let me just actually do that really quickly. See if we can find. Airport windy landing. So if you type in Bilbao windy landing, yeah, you already get lots and lots of different recordings there. I'm not going to show it here, but yeah, just Google that and you'll see what I mean. So special things. So the airport lies in a valley with high terrain around it. You can see that here on the charts already. Mountain peaks around reach 5,500 feet, the highest peaks. Now, south you have 4,300 feet roundabout. But yeah, the MSA, so the minimum safe altitudes, are already very high. So 7,000 in the south, 4.5 northeast, and 6,200 in the northwest. Usually runway 30 is in use. If we look at the current METAR, the wind today is actually variable 2 knots, so we're pretty lucky today. Although I have to admit, I'm quite happy that it is actually not so windy today, because I'm pretty sure here in Microsoft Flight Sim, then we probably wouldn't be able to land in Bilbao because it will be so overdone by Microsoft that yeah, it probably wouldn't be approachable. So wind phenomena, yeah, strong vertical wind gradients, most likely with winds from 160 to 240 degrees. So from the south, obviously, going above the mountains and creating lee waves. Yeah, and low-level wind is funneled through the valley, so you have wind or gusts that come top down, and also then the funneling effect of the valley itself. And you can just imagine the air dropping down over the mountains, then getting in contact with air that's funneled in the valley. I mean, that just stirs everything up so badly. That yeah, you're gonna have, you know, big wind shears, and personally, I was always lucky enough to land. I never had to divert. I know that I did 1 or 2 go-arounds there, but the second approach was then fine, so we never had to divert. But I know from colleagues, yeah, it happens regularly that aircraft have to divert. Now, landing distance is another topic. So runway 30 only has 2,140 meters available. So if it's raining, again, you don't have that much buffer with the landing distance. So considerations: steep approach path, short runways make the approaches into Bilbao very demanding, sometimes even impossible to land there. Hence, chances for a go-around are much higher at Bilbao. And the second approach may actually take 20 to 30 minutes. So consider extra fuel accordingly. After landing, normally we'll vacate via Charlie 5, go back again to the apron. And missed approach usually takes us towards the coastline, the water. We climb up and then return again. Yeah, so when I heard that, hey Nano, take care, have a good sleep, good night, thanks for watching. So when I heard that the beautiful models of the world now published there at Bilbao Airport, yeah, I was very keen to try it out. Handovers? Not really, no. So BMW, normally a handover will happen via CPDLC, and usually it can have, I've seen it where the handover to the next sector actually works as well. Nevertheless, if you get to the new frequency, you have to call in via voice, just like in real life. You have your primary means of communication over Europe is still voice. So even if you change over via CPDLC to next frequency, you have to check in. And you have to have listening watch on that frequency. Good. Hour 6 into the flight, and so let's have a look. An hour 6 minutes brings us to Narak. Look at that. Pretty much on time. And we will have about 4.6 tons, and we're supposed to have 4.6 tons. Got 1 ton extra. So 3.6 plus 1 ton, yeah, 4.6. So that looks pretty good as well. Very nice. And let's look for the rival. Right, there's no 8s. Would have been very surprised if there were. Actually, hang on. No, that was at 8 on or 7 UTC. Just checking the. Actually, hang on. We've got Madrid control. No, we don't. We had Madrid. Now it's offline. Okay, disregard. Hey, Florian. Profiles. Profile. Oh, you mean like for the buttons and so on, for the viewpoints? Yeah, I mean, I have no problem sharing it. If you let me know which folder I'm looking for, then I can send you that. Good. Right, let me just find see if I got a recording here on my PC. I'm sure I have a landing Bilbao, reworld landing somewhere. So let's have a look. Yeah, no worries, Florian. Just if you hit me up on Discord, just give me a message there, Florian, and I can have a look. Man, I know I have a recording somewhere. Yeah, Voyager, yeah, it has become very rare to have control there. Let me just have a look quickly, find my other hard drive. Just give me a second. So let's have a look here. So I do have the raw recordings there, but not the rendered. Oh, that's a shame. That is a shame. Where is it? Yeah, just come back briefly to this. It's a 50-50 with the handover. Yeah, yeah. So BMW, that can happen. Yeah, I guess it is. It depends on the controller. But I've had cases. I'm pretty sure I've had cases where the handover worked. So theoretically, the systems here in the FENIX would allow you to do that. Yeah, but it does depend on the controllers, obviously. That's a shame. I thought I had the file here, but I don't. Just gonna try one more hard drive. See if it's on there. Sour, if you're descending already, looks like 3 knot tailwind. Okay, well 3 knots is not too bad. That is not too bad. We can live with that. So unfortunately, no, I don't have the recordings on here. That is a shame. Anyways, let's have a look. So arrival into Bilbao, then weather is 120 at 3, a bit of tailwind, 10 degrees, 1028. Now we would take these values obviously to calculate our landing performance. Runway in use usually would be 30 still. Let's refresh the METAR. That is good, so we apply that. Landing weight, so we've currently got 64.2, and we're going to burn off another 700 kilograms, let's say. So let's say 63.5. 63.5, pretty heavy still. We'll go with automatic medium, obviously. Auto thrust off, and the condition is dry. Cab okay, so dry runway. So with a medium auto brake, our landing distance required is 1,655 meters. So not too bad. That means we have another 500 meters. Yeah, almost 500 meters. If we went auto brake low, that will put the required landing distance above what we have. So legally speaking, we actually do need medium auto brake. And we talked about this. So the way the calculations are done for the dry and the wet runway calculation, actually the dry runway calculation is that you have test pilots who will do several landings, and with an aircraft that has brand new tires, brand new brakes, test pilots who are very good at landing aircraft. So they have 50 feet at the threshold. They will not flare for too long, if at all. Touchdown exactly at the touchdown zone, and then use max manual braking, for example, or then use the brake settings to get the aircraft to a stop. And obviously these test pilots will easily, in these conditions, land an aircraft within 1,000 meters and get it to stop. Right, so from the beginning of the runway, 1,000 meters. Now, for us line pilots, we actually get a buffer, right? So we get 6-7% on top. So for us, the land distance would be, instead of 1,000 meters, would be 1,670 meters. And if the runway is wet, we would get another 15% on top of that as a required landing distance. And then we have another addition 15%, and so you should be surprised if you actually do a good landing right in the touchdown zone and use, let's say, medium auto brake, that you don't actually need 1,600 or 1,700 meters, so that you would actually maybe need 1,200 or 1,300. Again, because all these calculations have a lot of buffer for us line pilots regarding these landing distances. But nonetheless, these are requirements, legal requirements that you have to calculate your landing distance, and and then in case of emergency, for example, I can just take the legal requirements and disregard the 15% additionals. But again, only in emergency cases I can use that value. Otherwise, I'm required to do this. Now, let's say, for example, we have a wet runway. Actually, let's say braking action is medium, okay? And so now let's say I'm using max manual braking even, all right? And the land distance just doesn't, that value in a normal case just isn't enough. Well, that means that I'm not allowed to land unless it's an emergency and the LDR would still be enough. Then I would be able to do so. So for us today, for example, if I went with max manual braking in the emergency case, with the failure that we have, I would calculate that with that, and then if that's within limits, then we could use that one. We wouldn't be allowed to use that value, so normal operations, that would not be allowed. So we would have to divert in this case. But yeah, that's, even though if you don't need that distance. All right. If you say I'm such a good pilot, you know, I don't need the 15% extra, etc. Blah blah blah. Doesn't matter. You know, if you have a normal operation and the calculation will tell you with that braking action, you can't land within the legal requirements. That's it. You just would not be able to land. If you did, and you have an overrun, well, you are potentially going to prison, depending on damages and yeah, people being injured. But anyways, like we said, for us today with automatic medium, idle reverse, manual landing. Okay, so we'll go automatic medium. That's fine. Do I know when the FENIX 2 will be released? No. They're always keeping a very, very, oh, beautiful, very low profile on that. But I think it's fair to say that they will only release when they have a version that works properly without any bigger issues. And I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to trying out, you know, all these things that I've been complaining about regarding pitch and power values. Remember the flap abnormal that we did into Vienna? Those pitch and power values, they were just completely wrong. So apparently they reworked those, and yeah, or fuel flow values for that matter, right? Again, these are NEO fuel values. These are not CO fuel values. Now that you're flying the bigger jet, I wonder if you missed the extra thrill of airfields like this. Well, I tell you what. Yes, to a certain part, yes. Or a certain degree, yes. But no lie, when I climb the stairs, or if I enter the 787 and I get into the flight deck, man, it's just hard to describe the feeling. It is extremely elevating, that feeling. Like I said, that office, the office just seems like a spaceship. And it's so roomy, and, you know, big windows, the big displays. And then when you taxi it, for example, you feel the size of the aircraft and, you know, the weight of the aircraft. Or yesterday, no, 2 days ago, when I walked to the aircraft, we walked through the normal, you know, passenger ways, and the aircraft was parked at the gate, and then we looked a bit top down onto the aircraft, and it's such a beautiful aircraft. I just really love it. So that is just the absolute awesomeness, you know, and then being able to fly it. Yeah, I love it. That's just really cool. Army said they have an internal release date. Well, just like, you know, if I remember the time when I was a beta tester at FS Labs, yeah, they were obviously, you know, schedules, and then you had release candidates to the beta testers. But it doesn't mean that the first release candidate is already a go, because release candidates often have issues still. So the beta testers will go and test rigorously, and they will find some issues with it, and then they go, you know, release candidate 1, 2, 3, whatever. So whenever, you know, setting an internal release date is fine, but in the end, it's the, you know, it's the fact that the aircraft or the add-on has to work. Hey, Lewis Daniel, thank you much for the raid. Lewis, what are you up to? Thank you so much for that. So Peter, thank you much. Hey, Lewis, nice to see you. With the new sightseeing modeling that FENIX are making, oh yeah, so that's something, again, the whole, you know, upgrade or update regarding flight model, regarding flight controls, so the sight stick, regarding pitch and power values, the drag model, etc., etc. So there's so many things that I'm really keen on trying out and testing. And then on top of that, you have a lot of texture improvements as well, right? And performance improvements. Amazing. So let's just update the weather one more time, and then we'll enter the values. So, oh, hang on, that's my flight here. So let's update 120 at 3. Crosswind limit, so usually the crosswind limit would be either 35 knots or 37 knots for the 320. It depends on the operator. And then, of course, as the braking coefficient get worse and worse and worse, the max allowed crosswind limit decreases as well. So if you got auto braking, if you have medium braking coefficients, usually that would already mean 15 knots of max crosswind. So that does limit that. Yeah, Hector S, my pleasure. Even though I didn't have any real news on that, I'm afraid. Minimums. So let's have a look at the chart. We're doing the ILS approach. We'll do the Zulu 30. And yeah, like we said, the step down. So we got 6,000 at Karma. Then we step down to Sarah 4,900. Then we step down to 4.5 or 4,400, and then that'll be the intercept out of 44 at 11.3 from the ILS DME. The profile is 3.4 degrees, so definitely steeper than normal. That already means that your normal descent rate is already higher. So if you get high in the profile, you know, especially the last 1,000 feet above the runway, you're probably going to bust the 1,000 feet per minute max rate of descent rule, which is okay for short periods of time in these kind of conditions. But again, you know, the amount of the amount of possible deviations you have, or allowable deviations, is just a lot less with that steeper glide slope. Minimums cat 1, 440. So let's just enter that here. 440. And of course, it's a config full approach because of that steeper glide slope, a bit of tailwind, and short runways. So definitely a configuration full landing. No doubt about that. And then a missed approach.
Good night, Black Box.
No worries, Voyager. That's good. See you next time. Good night. The missed approach will then go 2 miles, Bravo Lima Victor VOR, and then turn right, 316 outbound to 4,000. Then we turn back, continue climb to 6,000, but we go back to Sarah and then hold here, or do a reversal, and then try again. So let's do Bravo Lima Victor. We need to descend here as well. Right now, there we go. So we're going to go down initially 200. So we got descend thrust idle 210. How much too high am I already? More drag. All right. We put some speed brakes out. Get back on profile. So static air temperature. So the total air temperature is the temperature that has the effect of the wind, so or the ram air effect. No, I can't eagle motion. No, I tried. I can't see the wingtips. Maybe on the 787-8, but not on the 9. No, which is a shame. I would love to see them, but I can't. Yeah, so the static air temperature, you can't measure the SAT. So the TAT, you have a sensor, a probe for that. The SAT is calculated. Maybe open the window, lol. You can't. I can't even open the window with the 787. Which descent mode is commonly used on the A320 descent mode, so the managed descent. I mean, the FENIX, because of that drag model that we have in version 1 being a little bit off, is not the best. Hopefully with version 2 it will get better. But yeah, normally managed descent is the way to go. Haha, well, Gilend, it's still an awesome plane. Still awesome. Some speculate it will be Friday. I don't know. I don't, it all depends on how the testing is going. Ah, okay, Guppy. So Guppy says if you have a 180-degree fish lens on a GoPro, then you can see the wingtip. If you hold it against the window, okay. Yeah, Matter, we don't use the HUD. So for us, the HUD is actually sealed. Yeah, so no HUD. So we've got 3.8 tons. I'm not sure why it's still complaining. Because the minimum... Oh, that's why. I didn't put in the CG. We didn't do the final... Oh my god, yeah. You see? Not been flying the A320 for some time and I'm forgetting already to put in the final values. So here we go. The CG was 30.6. I mean, it doesn't really matter that much now. But more drag. Min diversion. Didn't we say it was 2.7 or something? That's like pros. No, that's not how pros. Yeah, it's 2.7. So we'll be landing with 3.6. Oh, I know why. So the disregard. So it's 1.7 here, or 1.8. There we go. So now it adds up. There we go. So we got 800 kilograms extra. That's good. Beautiful. So just let the FS2 crew know. The runway is dry. We'll do a ILS approach. Transition level is in a small mirror. Okay, I may try that. I may try that. So 70, let's say. So 7,000. Well, let's level 70. Threats terrain, definitely. LS required. APU on. Minimum descent altitude is 440. Decision height, that will be about 200 feet, I would imagine. No, 310. 310. And the airport has 128. Are you ready for the approach brief?
Go ahead.
So, descending into Bilbao on the Chegam to Quebec arrival. Then we'll fly the ILS Zulu 30 as briefed. Miss approach goes to 6,000. Sectors in the south very high, 7,000. Northwest 6,200 and northeast 4,500. So terrain definitely a big threat today. Minimum is 440 feet. And extra fuel right now is about 800 kilograms. That's about 20 minutes. So we should have enough fuel for a second approach. Yeah, that's true, Guppy, yeah. Oh, really? So, Gary, I mean, yeah, beautiful area. I know that Arthur Bico, one of our good friends here. Yeah, he's already cycled and hiked around here in the Pyrenees Mountains. I think so. Ivamo, I think the restriction is more on the side of Microsoft Flight Sim. So let's go down to 140. So thrust idle descend outlu 140. He got a new, really, he got a new bike. Man. Infamous for an air crash, really? Okay. Hey Fred, yeah, only one flight today, guys, because I'm going to be going back to Frankfurt tomorrow. So I've got another flight coming up. And I just came back yesterday. I literally slept all day yesterday because the night before I was working all night. And yesterday I was just so shot. I slept almost all day, and then, well, last night wasn't that good, so here's Tony. That's nice, thank you. Any questions?
No questions.
Fantastic. So that's all set. That can go to below. There's one traffic. Bilbao traffic, Lufthansa 74 Golf is passing 180 towards Chegam for the Chegam to Quebec, and then the ILS 30 in Bilbao.
Captain, how far are you from Chegam? I'm 10 miles now.
Okay, I'm at 7 miles. Are you at 12,000 feet? Okay, I'll tell you what then. I'll do a 360 over Chegam, and then you can go ahead of me.
No. I land out number 3. I follow you into the next truck.
Oh, okay, then I'll expedite and continue. Thank you.
I'll go in flight level 100 and descend it down to from Chegam.
That is copied. Yeah, no worries, Sir Garrick. All good. And Fred. Yeah, I'm like I said, I had holidays. You know, so I didn't fly that much, and now to have some flights. Yeah, really exciting. So. And again, you know, now I'm in the so-called stabilization phase where, you know, I gained experience, and yeah, that's for me right now still very exciting stuff, and yeah, so really love it. All right, landing lights are on, fantastic. Don't know why the FENIX does that. It goes back, so let me just get selected speed here.
At flight level 100, Bilbao.
Right, well, let's continue down to 4,400, and we'll do that managed.
Bilbao traffic, Lufthansa Chambon for Tango, flight level 160, 15 miles south of Chegam for the Chegam.
Pedro, thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Doesn't the route command work? That's strange. Alright, I'll give you the routing here. Just paste that here. Aurora, hello. Thank you so much. That's really kind. Yeah, and exciting stuff coming up, guys. So what we have is FENIX version 2 coming, and then in the pipeline is also 777 from PMG and 777 from Flight Factor. So PMG for Microsoft Flight Sim and the 777 from Flight Factor on X-Plane. No release dates, of course, but I'm excited. Some good stuff coming. So the ILS is identified. We're still far out though, 30 miles. It's saying we're on profile. But I have my doubts somehow that we actually are. Got to start taking out some speed here. Here comes speed brakes. I thought the latest NVIDIA driver would get rid of the little micro stutters, but it hasn't. It's still a little bit problematic. Beautiful. Hey, Pilot Aviation, nice to see you. Thanks for the raid. Just in time, we're just about to approach Bilbao airport. And we'll intercept the localizer here. So lock armed, lock star. And there's the airport in the distance. So Pilot Aviation, what were you up to? What have you been doing? Yeah, so Swiss Tony, I did update. There was a regular update which I used, but yeah, I think I have to reinstall the beta again. All right, speed brakes in. Flaps on.
Speed checked. Flaps 1.
And Pilot Aviation, you checked out a Piper Seneca. Nice. Yeah, I want to get more into proper VFR flying at some point. You know, with proper communication stuff. Oh, and talk about communication. There was a news update from what's it called again? That new AI, that traffic, or the ATC AI. So they brought out some subscription plans. Ooh, a bit high. So speed brakes out. We're going to go manual flight here. So manual flight. So QNH is 1028. Checked.
One 028 set passing 5,700. Now.
Checked. Flaps 2. No, hang on. I'll get you the name. FS lead. It really seems very, very fascinating. It's called Beyond ATC. Yeah, exactly. Beyond ATC. Arm approach mode.
Barrow ref.
1028 set.
1028 set. Seatbelts.
On.
Minimum.
Barrow 440 feet set.
Auto brake.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box
Medium
YouTube
set.
channel subscriber
Medium
experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin where
Medium
complimentary
armed.
drinks, snacks and
Engine
premium
mode
flight
selector.
entertainment will
Normal.
be served.
Approach
Thank you.
checklist completed.
So speed brakes are back in. We now on managed speed. Flaps 2.
Speed checked. Flaps 2.
Kitman, thank you much for the 24 on YouTube. Kitman, thank you so much. And have a happy landing. I hope there's enough distance now between the aircraft. Gear down.
Gear down.
If you're up for it, maybe some your control shared flight. I have to look into that regarding your controls. See how stable that is.
Radar altimeter alive.
Flaps 3.
Speed checked. Flaps 3.
Flaps 4.
Speed checked. Flaps full.
So beautiful. So, here we go. Actually, we have a bit of headwind now. We expected tailwind, and we actually got a bit of headwind, which is fine. Landing checklist.
Bilbao traffic, Lufthansa 1 for Tango.
ECAM memo.
Landing, no blue.
Landing checklist completed.
Yeah, German live stream. I do want to do German language live streams. And they will come. It's just a matter of when I can find a time. So let's concentrate. 1 speed, on path. The windshield's a bit dirty, but apart from that. Yeah, the airport, again, if you fly here IRL, so beautiful. It really is.
1,000.
Checked. Bilbao is also a beautiful city. It's worth a trip, absolutely. Kipman, thank you so much for the 10 euros. I think that the jingles, hopefully the jingle will come up. Kipman, thank you so much for the support. Again, 10 euros. Thank you so much. Yeah, 1,000 was checked. So now we have a bit of tailwind, 4 knots. And with today's condition, brake medium, we have about again 400 to 5 meters buffer.
Autopilot.
There's the jingle. Thank you so much, Kipman.
Autopilot.
500.
There's checked. Wow, I really have to go back to the older driver version.
100 above.
Runways in sight.
300.
Minimums.
Continue.
Minimum.
So I'm going to ignore the glide slope indication, unless... Yeah, I see. So we are going to go with the PAPI lights. They seem to be correct regarding the touchdown zone.
Light slope.
Disregard.
40, 30, 20, retard.
Oh. Spoilers. Come on, give me
Spoilers. No reverse, engine 1 and engine 2. Desal.
There we go now.
70 knots.
Minor brakes. Right, that was not a greaser, was it? Oh. Come on, don't stop. I'm surprised that we didn't get a report. 232. 1 bounce. Can't deny that. That was definitely... But 232 is not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. Although it did look a bit harder than that. Bounce box, yeah. Boeing pilot landing. Oh, Kitman. We'll see your landing. Is the bounce realistic? No, not really. This is one of the things with the current version of the FENIX. It is a bit bouncy. Normally, the spoilers will come up straight away. So 320 can be bounced.
5 mile final, ILS 30 Bilbao traffic.
Bilbao traffic. Runway now is clear from Lufthansa 74 Golf. If you really have a hard landing where the struts decompress again and the aircraft, the spoilers are a bit delayed maybe, or don't react quick enough, then yeah, you can kind of lift off again. But a landing like this, like we just saw, that would not create a bounce, no. The plug-in pinball, it's called G's. So GES, G's. Thank you. Yeah, so it does give you some nice values. And I have a feeling that the recording here is more realistic than than you have from other programs. Guys, again, don't go to the newest NVIDIA driver. It's awful. Blimey. Quite annoyed because the previous one with the beta, that was actually quite good, and this one is terrible. Let's go gate number 3. Follow me? No. So let's watch the landing here. Why does the sim look so amazing? Well, thank you for the flowers, but the only thing I've changed is I'm using NVIDIA game filters. So it's like a shader program. Right in the money. GG's. What do you mean you're not? Don't you know the saying? Thanks for the flowers. Yes, oh yeah, I do use Rex AccuSeason, yeah. I do use that as well. That's cool, okay. Yeah, so I do use Rex AccuSeason. And I did set, hang on, what did I set today? I set March. Yeah, so Evamo, I tried the latest fly-by-wire update, and the flare mode is off. The pitch down moment is just way too strong, I'm afraid. Man, I need to reinstall the latest beta version. That's crazy how laggy it is. Yeah, the first officer, that comes with the FS2 crew. So it's the FS2 crew, and the version is it's called so you need the basic version, FS2 crew for the FENIX, and then it says animated first officer 320. Your honeycomb doesn't work with the FENIX? It should. No, no, Ivama did. I can show you the different models if you like in a minute. But no, Luigi is not modeled directly. Although, hang on, well, we'll check. We'll check in a second. After landing checklist.
Radar and predictive wind shear system.
Off.
After landing checklist completed.
Shut down engine 2.
Bilbao traffic, windmill 43 X-ray, short final, runway 30, Bilbao.
There he is. We'll manage to just do that. So we'll watch the landing from our good friend Kitman as well. So Enzo, does that honeycomb throttle quadrant register in Microsoft Flight Sim?
Set.
Oops.
Takeoff runway.
No, disregard.
Good night, Black Box.
Stedke, thanks for watching. Good night to you. Yeah, maybe see you Sunday. So next stream is Sunday. And we'll start a little bit early on Sunday. So 1600 UTC on Sunday. Hopefully with, although I don't know, but hopefully with the version 2 of the FENIX. That would be great. So it does. So the honeycomb registers. And it did do the calibration in the FENIX. Yeah, Florian, the problem... So the issue is more Microsoft Flight Sim with the programming of the reverse function. So that you have to set three different keys for the reverse function. So it's not so easy. And if you forget one, or Microsoft deletes it for some reason, then it doesn't work. BMW, thank you so much. Thank you very much for that. Oh, that was my wife sneezing. Lol. Ooh, looking very nice. Ooh, that's a greaser. All right, Kitman. All right. That was definitely smoother than my landing. I'll take it. Yeah, Kitman wins. I agree.
Good night, Black Box.
Thank you much, Ivamo. Thanks for watching. Yeah, take care. Parking checklist. Restart the checklist.
Takeoff runway.
No, disregard. Hang on. Cancel checklist.
Roger.
Parking checklist.
Parking brake or chocks.
Set.
Engines.
Off.
Wing lights.
Off.
Fuel pumps.
Off.
Parking checklist completed.
Everything's okay with light navigation controls. But okay. Okay, I have to say, I didn't set any light switches either. I don't know if that doesn't work generally. Navigation controls. Oh, you mean the altitude? Yeah, okay, I didn't set those. So I'm using the mini FCU for the controls here, for the FCU. So I don't use the honeycomb for that. Oh, really, Peter? Yeah, best wishes. Okay, so Florian says, Enzo, Florian says the features regarding navigation lights and so on, or the lights and navigation, that comes with version 2. So you're not the only one that has the issue. Yeah, because for me, it didn't work for me either, so I never looked back on it. So I never tried it to reset it. So Yeah, beautiful. All right, let's have a quick look at the airport. So it's a very futuristic looking airport, isn't it? And so the internal side is modeled as well. Beautiful. I've actually been here as well inside. So at least that part is modeled. Oh, that looks really nice. Hey, cool. Look at that. Kitman taxiing in. Very nice. Fury, thanks so much for watching. Take care. Stay safe. That is pretty neat. Like that. The beautiful 320 Neo. GG's. Nice. Let's have a quick look at nighttime, shall we? Oh, that's pretty cool as well. Look at that. Go downstairs here. So lower level is also modeled. And the jetway. Cool. Nice. Oh, that looks beautiful. That looks really nice. Fantastic. Yeah, I'm so happy they now finally we have a really nice rendition of the Bilbao airport in the sim. Oh, and I did get some Bilbao scenery. So the free stuff from flightsim.to. Let me have a quick look here as well. Like I said, Bilbao city is beautiful as well. So it's beyond here. Yeah, so this is one of the airports which fulfills many different values like interesting approach, beautiful surroundings, challenging regarding the landing distance. I would have thought that was going to be a bit more high resolution in here. That's a shame. But again, the city is so beautiful, and you can already get a good impression of that. Lovely city, great food. Yeah, I did download a city add-on for this, but I don't know, something went wrong there. And now we're going to wait until everything loads in. Nice. Cool. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Lots of people here today. Thank you so much for all the support. And I will be back Sunday. Hopefully, we can try out version 2 by then from the FENIX. If not, we'll find something else fun to do. Thank you so much. My dear moderators, thank you so much for everything. Take care. Stay safe, everyone. Kitman, once again, Kitman, thank you for the €10 donation. And Florian, just give me a shout regarding the...
Good night, Black Box.
The file. I'll get that to you. Thank you, Yoda. Dankeschön. Mate. Mille grazie. Winky, take care. Mark, take care as well. Talk to you soon. Thank you so much, everyone. Good night. Here comes the outro.
Bye.